Transmission incoming. Connected.
Well, welcome to Rogue and Blasted Podcast. Great to have everyone here. I'm Steve Beck. This week we also have James.
Hello, everyone.
We have Connor.
Hello.
Always hoping for that eel.
Heyo.
We've got yay, thanks. And we have Dan, our tech priest.
Hey guys.
We're missing the Great Wolf Matt this week, who has been afflicted with some kind of Nurgle's rot. Not sure exactly, but we'll have him back next time, I'm sure. So let's kick it off with traditional grimdark. Would you rather? Dan, you said you've got a few. And I've got a few. Should we do? You start us off with one, and then I'll do one.
Would you rather paint 2,000 points worth of Imperial Guard or build 3 Warlord Titans made out of resin? Let's start with the. Should we go with Steve after that initial reaction?
Well,
no airbrush.
Oof. No airbrush as well. Oh, you just keep piling on the pain. That's not fair. Well, resin is just awful. And put aside the labour that's going to be involved in both. If you paint up a Warlord Titan that's resin's so brittle. Like if you drop any of those pieces, that is just going to shatter. So you're very likely to be left with nothing at all at the end of that process. Yeah, I think I'd have to take the guard. 2,000. Did you say 2,000 models or points? 2,000.
Yeah,
models.
infantry army as well. Oh no! You didn't mention infantry army at the start. Yeah, I didn't think.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah, stop changing the rules, Dan. Yeah, I'll take the infantry army as painful as that is, because resin's horrible to prep and get ready as well, because you just be showered in this poisonous dust as well. Yeah, I'll take the guard. Cool. Connor, what do you reckon?
I'd go with the guard. I've seen people build that Warlord Titan. Not a chance. Not a chance in the world. It's so poorly designed. It's the only thing worse than that, ironically, is the Manta, and I still wouldn't touch that. No,
really.
I'd go guard, but I'd loophole it and just go Tempest Scion with Bulgrim, so get as much point out, get the least models as possible out of it. Because Bulgrim are infantry. All right, Bulgrim, Scions, Kazakin, done.
Can you still do, this might have been a White Dwarf army rather than a full Codex one, but you used to be able to do like a full tank guard army for a period?
You can happily still do that.
That would be fairly simple to do. Just basically paint everything, streak and grime it, and you're good to go.
Yeah, once you had them built, they're pretty, because they're all, I think you should get it down to a good process. Connor, you could have your little production line, that the Warhammer Widow could be there, like passing you models and stuff. You could even do half of it with those rattle cans. Just go along the line, doing the eyes, like... What do you reckon, James?
Both are a complete disaster for me. So the painting would just look utterly shocking if I attempted it. It would just be an absolute shocker. So although I've heard lots of terrible things about these resin models, I think I'd have to just give that a go. Even if it took me a long time.
It would put you in a care home, James.
It probably would.
Too late.
I'd probably take them there with me. They travel with me to their home.
Connor, where do you think he is now?
I'll come from a tea in a minute. Yeah, they're used to it now. My carers don't mind.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Dan.
sorry. How poisonous are these resin models then?
Yeah, you really don't want to be breathing it in.
You got it, because there's a lot of filing down work. There's a lot of cleanup needed for it. A lot. Like Swindmore made 2 of them, didn't they? And it almost killed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember with their Mantha, like how nothing was
nothing fit?
Was that resin?
Yeah. Yeah, that was resin.
Because it was all warped and nothing was fitting together, and they had
horrible.
to do like loads of work with getting it. Yeah. God. And they had to wear masks. But even when I did your Connor, your bugs
Vespid.
were
the original Vespid were the fine cast stuff, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh, they were bad.
Hey, to be fair, there's only one resin tower model left that you can legally play now, and I already have him painted, so you're all right. The Farsight Marksman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you can't see yourself just
be
getting
nice
the
to do a
Manta for the
Vespid
sake
refresh, because the new Vespids are cool, aren't they?
They do. I have them.
Okay.
I mean, these resin models, were they ever an improvement over the original metal ones, or were they?
There's more detail, wasn't there?
I'd say, yeah, there's maybe like a marginal increase in like the amount of detail, but it kind of suffers with a lot of the same thing as metal. Whereas if you're trying to do lots of real compact detail, it tends to sort of all fudge together. But I think, and I could be totally wrong, we'll have to go to our GW representative, but I think the only time you get resin now is when it's for like the back order catalog stuff, so they can just print like a one-off rather than do like a whole run of like plastic kits.
There's a few resin models out there still. There's a few.
Yeah.
A lot
More
of the
than you'd
old
think.
world stuff, to be fair. You get a lot of the old world stuff still in resin.
Oh,
They
okay.
try to update it as they go along. But yeah, they do back order stuff. So they did a lot of the old Blood Angel Dreadnoughts and stuff not too long ago, which was nice.
Yeah.
You can't play them legally still, but you can buy them still.
Yeah.
Sorry, just go back to.
Yeah, go on. Dan, what was your answer then?
I quite like painting. I just Imperial Guard it. Sounds great fun. Lots of eyes. That'd probably drive me a bit crazy.
So
But
that's a lot of models.
So, Connor, you can't see yourself owning a Manta one day.
No, it's over 2,000 points. You can't even run it. Even if I wanted just to run the Manta, it's 2,050 points. Somebody wanted to ruin the fun there because if they could have made it 2,000 points, somebody would bring it to an event. That's why they didn't do it. So it's 2,050 points.
Okay, so the only reason you wouldn't be using it is because of point cost, not because of
Where would I put
actual
it?
cost.
Where would I put it? It's heavy. It would. If I said to Matt, "All right, Matt, I have got a Manta for you to paint," I'm pretty sure he would leave rogue. I don't think he'd do it. I don't think he would. I think it would tip it over the edge for him. To be fair,
I think you might be right. I think you might be right.
You could just get it like mounted above your bed or something, though. Just
but then if it failed, it would kill me.
Oh, look at it!
It'd kill me if it dropped on me. It would.
I love it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Can you imagine coming home with that? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna have this little kit to display.
It doesn't even look that nice though. It's not a model I think, oh, it's nice that. If I was to go, I'd get a tiger shark. If I was to buy a flyer, it would be a tiger shark.
Yeah, okay.
It's just better.
The one that Squidmar did looked really cool though.
Oh, it did look really
Did a
good.
good job of that. It just took a whole team of people several months.
Yeah. With expertise in resin and everything.
Yeah.
But we can start working on Connor now and just be like, oh yeah, so when are you getting Rogue to do the...
It would.
I
really
don't think this
it
is
wouldn't
one
just be
that
Rogue. It would be Matt, and he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And
I'd make sure of that.
Yes.
All right, let's do another quick would you rather. I went and did a few ones now. Now I'm struggling to pick between them. Funny enough, the one that I was going to go with was about fine cast or plastic kits.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Okay. Would you rather play a game against an opponent who takes 3 hours to move their models, but is a nice person, or play a game against an opponent who is a total jerk, but is lightning fast and finishes the game in 45 minutes? What do you reckon, Dan?
First option, 3 hours.
Yeah?
Nice guy, yeah. Just let the game devolve into chatting nonsense and probably order pizza. Sounds ideal.
Okay. All right. Straightforward.
Probably not great in a tournament setting.
Yeah. What can you give me the setting here? Is it competitive? Is it a casual game? I don't know. It matters to me. This it does.
Yeah. What would make it more of a difficult choice?
I think a tournament.
At a
because
tournament.
You got stuff. Yeah, because you've gone out your way and paid money for it, then haven't you? So if you get cock blocked round one by a slow player,
All right. So if it was a tournament, you would have to go with the jerk.
no, I don't think I would. I'd just chest clock him, wouldn't I? He'd run out of time and I'd win. Tournament, I'd just chest clock him. I'd put him on a chest clock. He would run out of time. I would have an hour and a half to win the game. Done.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I've loopholed this, and there's nothing you can do to take it away from me.
So pleased with himself.
Yeah.
I am.
All right. Thanks, Connor. James, what do you reckon?
I think probably the same. If I was just having a friendly game against someone, it wouldn't matter too much if they were that slow. I mean, that would be quite painful if they were that slow. You know, that
Yeah.
even if they were a lovely chap
Yeah.
or chapess,
Yeah.
that would be quite painful. But I'd probably go with it.
What
I'd go with
does
the slow player.
What does an average casual game run time wise?
Casual game.
Well, yeah,
4 or
just
5
if you
four-
would if you
like
weren't if you
casual-
weren't at a tournament.
You went to a tournament. That's different.
No, if you weren't at a tournament, just say like your standard
4 hours.
league game.
4 hours. If there's a bit of leeway between
Okay.
us both.
Okay, so we should have upped that to 6 hours.
Well, no, but if you're saying they're taking 3 hours just for their turn,
Right,
and you're
right. Yeah. Then you're
you've
losing a
got
whole
to take
day.
an hour and a half on for yourself. That is quite slow going.
Yeah.
It'd be like a 12-hour match by the end of it, surely.
Yeah.
After.
All right.
What about you, Steve?
Yeah, I'd have to go with the. It's tricky because for me, if I'm playing, then I'd probably there wouldn't be like competitive edge. I think I'd still have to take the short and annoying guy. Just for
Good.
What you
time.
don't want is
Go with
someone
the
who
jet.
takes 3 hours to do their turn. It is an absolute knob. That's what you don't
Yeah.
want. That's the word.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want.
Which which probably happens, right? That probably happens. Yeah, awesome, nice one, cool. Well, Dan, do you have any more that you just were really dying to get out?
Maybe. Would you
Go on,
rather?
one more then.
Okay. Would you rather your army's law is retconned to be the opposite of what it is now? So if you're like a slightly light good faction, it's now a pretty evil faction, or they discontinue your big hero unit. So again, for Tal, your Riptide's gone. For James, your Dreadnought's gone. Steve, I'm not too sure who your sisters is, but yeah. So sisters become Chaos Sisters. The Imperial Guard, Imperial Fists are now like Chief Chaos Marines. Tal were just pure evil.
Chaos
Well, it's easy
Sisters
for
would be a
James
cool
because
army, I think.
his fists will just become Iron Warriors, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
That's exactly what they would be.
And James, you sort of flip flop between good and evil anyway. I think
I do, yeah. I could easily be turned to the dark side. Although the Iron Warriors were they're probably the least evil of the traitor legions. They didn't turn to the chaos gods as such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just kind of felt a bit left out and unappreciated.
Yeah,
so
a
they
bit
thought,
sad.
you, Dad.
Yeah, people don't quit bad jobs, they quit bad managers, and the Emperor was a pretty bad manager by the end of it.
Yeah, I think that's what happened with the Iron Warriors. Yeah, it wasn't so much that they were tempted by Slanesh or Khorne or the rest. They just kind of thought, meh, we're not being appreciated here. We're going to go and ply our trade elsewhere.
All right, nice. What do you reckon, Connor?
Evil Tal sounds good fun. Because if it's a polar opposite, I go from being a gunline army to World Eaters, don't I? So, World Eaters Tau, I would love to see that. You think about all the crisis suits with all the swords and Fire Warriors pulling out samurai swords. Wouldn't it? It'd be like, sweet, wouldn't it? Even I don't know what the
That could be
Rampage is.
quite
The
cool,
Rampage
actually.
would probably just say the same, to be honest. It'd fit in quite well. But yeah, if the whole army switched roles, it would just be a melee run at your Tau army, wouldn't it?
Melee Riptide could be quite
you
a
could have-
beast.
yeah, you could have,
flying
like,
into combat and just...
They'd have suicide drones, wouldn't they? Just that would just blow up at you.
Yeah.
It'd be well cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd do that. I'd love
Nice.
to see what it was. Yeah, they're not taking my Riptide away from me. I'm not having that.
Well, you've already started working on those kind of World Eater tactics with your what was that last battle you had where you just charged in one of your
Yes, against
Was this your...
this was
your kamikaze
demons,
tank?
wasn't it? Oh yeah, my kamikaze
it-
piranhas.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
piranhas
yeah,
like
yeah.
My
kamikaze
bonsai, my,
fighters,
piranhas.
yeah.
my bonsai piranhas. You quite like that? didn't you?
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was like a real change up in expectations. I liked it. A lot.
Nice.
Yeah, Dan, what do you reckon?
I quite want to see what a sort of good version of a Tyranid is.
Hmm.
They're just coming back to, I don't know, help farm planets and
Yeah.
really put life back into the galaxy after Chaos has sort of stripped it.
You'd be
Yeah,
like,
coming
you'd be like,
back to
Eldar, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I that could be quite nice. Or I picture it almost being like lizard men Tyranids.
Yes.
makes any sense.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
dig that. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I
Nice.
think because the Norn model is a very nice model. I don't think that needs to go anywhere.
It'd
Yeah,
be
I
like
think if I can think of
daisies
any
on it.
friendly lizards. Doc Croc? Was he like a friendly lizardy type character? I'm trying to think of any others that have been.
The raptor from their really bad Jurassic Park remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan's got a whole list
Yeah.
of these, James.
Oh yeah, Spark. What about you, Steve? Where have you landed?
Yeah, so what's the opposite of Sisters of Battle?
I like Chaos Sisters, but because sisters are quite close up in your face, aren't they?
Emperor's Children, maybe?
Sort of.
Yeah, there'd be a bit Emperor's Children like, but chicks. Slanesh chick.
Yeah.
You'd be like chaos. You'd be
Lots
like
of drugs.
You'd be like Zinch demons, wouldn't you? Well, not Zinch demons, Slanesh demons, wouldn't you? Like with the witches and you'd be
Yeah.
like Dark Eldar. That's
Yeah.
what you'd be. You'd be Jakari. That's what you would
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably not far off. And you all know my feelings on Drakari. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think you'd have to take
I know.
let's.
I missed
yeah.
that one.
Not a fan, Connor. Not a fan. Oh yeah, we need to
Oh.
double check because we answered for you that week, so we'll need to just double check if we got it right. We'll do that in a
What
sec.
faction I would never play, ever?
Yeah. So yeah, what faction you'd never play, but you couldn't have a model for it? No, sorry. What faction you never play, and then what faction you would want to play or collect next, but you couldn't have any models for it at the moment, like even one in your house. So we guessed. What did we guess?
I think was it.
Votan,
No.
he would
Votan
play.
for the one that you play next because we discounted the current army, super secret army
Yeah.
that you're working on.
Yeah.
And then for the one that you'd never play, did we say
Grey Knights.
Grey
That's it.
Knights?
Yeah.
Grey
It
Knights.
was.
I
Yeah.
don't like the
So
I
how-
don't like the law for the Grey Knights. I agree. The Grey Knights, I don't like them. I just think the whole thing is stupid. Stupid. Ironically,
I mean, if there
it
are any
wouldn't
Grey
be
Knights,
Votan. Ironically, the next army, if I had a choice to go into and I couldn't own a single model yet, would be,
Drum roll.
I don't know why, but at this moment in time, I have a real soft spot for Orc.
Mm.
But I'd go like
Mm.
Goblin Orcs, if that makes sense. I'd go like Killer Cans, Death Dreads, Mech Guns.
Really?
nice.
I'd
Really?
go the full beast route, so Squigosaurs, beast bosses, the kill rig.
Yeah,
I just feel like
Yeah,
I'd love
that's
to
quite
play something completely opposite to what I'm used to playing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be evil either. And the orcs aren't evil; they are very fun. And I can just go and just start doing wags and put on accents all the time, and it would be cool because I'm an orc player.
Maybe Orcs would have won the vote in that case then, because I voted for Orcs. And Steve and Matt were both sort of nodding away
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
kind of favour. So I think maybe
Admech
Orcs would have
was
tipped
very
the
close.
balance.
Admech was a very close second for me though on that.
Oh, see,
I
that
must
was
admit.
Matt's choice was Admech.
Yeah.
Did I see Matt eyeing up a load of AdMech models as well?
He's bought some.
He's
Has he?
he's the definition, right? And if this has to get beeped out, well, so be it. He is a commission painter equivalent of a hooker. He will trade
Yeah.
his services for anything.
Nice.
Yeah. I reckon we should see between us if over the next few weeks we could lure him into painting like an extra faction as well. Just all
No
talk
way.
about but maybe
No
something.
way.
I reckon we could do it. Maybe
He's
even
always
something
right,
like kind of
right. He's doing my tower at the moment, right? He's doing his own
Yeah.
Spacefuls. He started Admech.
Yep.
He's having
Yeah.
to pay back a debt, so he's having to paint Eldar. He's got Votan on the
Yeah.
go as well.
Yes, he does.
He's got my other army, right?
Yeah.
So what army could you possibly tempt him with? And he hates
No orcs.
orcs. He hates orcs, though. He hates painting orcs in Warhammer.
Yeah,
He said this
but
to me.
okay, so you're 100% right. Couple of little things. One, he's just finished a commission that was
has.
quite a time-consuming one, so he's got loads of free time now. And he just painted an orc for. He's doing like a painting workshop later in the year, and he was considering doing an orc, and he produced a pretty decent-looking orc as well.
Yeah, it's good. Really good.
Oh, yeah, and he's got his kids' Imperial Fists as well.
Correct.
What army could you give him? What army do you reckon you could not force him into? Would he be persuaded into? What army would it be?
Harlequins?
No,
I
I don't. No, I don't think it would have to be something. I reckon it would have to be something a bit dirty for him. I reckon a Death Guard army. I reckon he'd dig a He loves a bit of grime, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He loves a bit.
Yeah, he
loves
does.
a bit
Yeah,
of,
Death Guard. Yeah,
It would be Death Guard, wouldn't
that's
it?
not
I
a bad
reckon.
shout. Maybe if we could time, like, if we've got any new releases on the horizon that we could kind of dangle in front of him and just say, "Oh, look at these great new."
I mean, he's
Just when
already put himself forward. He's painting me a blimmin' apothecary
Yeah,
Is
out
he
of nowhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
the man just can't get enough of paint. It was ever since he was always really prolific. But he went away for a bit with his family, and ever since he came back, he's been like a man possessed. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, he's a
Absolutely.
machine.
Yeah, a machine. Right. Well, we'll have to have a little think about that. What faction can we tempt him? Maybe Death Guard's a good shout. But I was thinking something that isn't that great, but we could just somehow just see if we could push him into it. But anyway, right. Back on track. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of I guess the centerpiece model would have to be Morven Val, and I'm not a massive fan of that, although she's very good in game, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think couldn't be any sort of Chaos faction, so no, I think I'd have to ditch Morven Val. Just get a
Philly
knight.
Emperor.
Just gone.
Just get a knight instead.
Yeah, get a knight in there.
Yeah. I was hoping to get a rise out. Of Connor there.
We temporarily lost him.
Yeah. We'll be back after this short message. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of all right. The law's a little bit strange. So she's like one of the High Lords of Terror, technically. And
I love that model. I think that's wicked.
It's all right, but if it was if you're talking about between that or changing with the whole army, she's all right. She's all right.
I know law people would crucify me for this, but I do think like a chaosed up Sisters of Battle army could look insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think that would look amazing.
What would you run it
Yeah.
as though? If you like, I suppose you could just run it as Sisters rules, but just have it chaos fine.
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah, there's nothing to stop you from doing
Yeah.
it. Also,
Yeah.
I know I want to off tangent a smidge. I figured out what army I figured out what army we can get Matt to do. Right, it's dog
go on.
poo. It's full of character, and he'd hate it somehow, but he'd enjoy it at the same time. Right?
I love where this is going. Go on.
Agents of the Imperium. Make him do like the Inquisition. Because he'd like it, but then he'd realise it's dog shit. And it's like... because he'd have to put like Death Watch in the Grey Knights. It wouldn't be a uniformed army. It would be so weird for him.
Yeah.
I think he'd hate
But
it.
we
But
could
love
sell
it
I
at
think
the
it's a
same
very
time.
good. I think it's a good hobby army because
Yeah.
you can adapt so much, can't you?
Yeah.
And put your own touch on it, your own spin on things.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty much every model is different, so you've got because he quite
Yeah.
likes to work out system to batch things out.
He couldn't
It's
do it.
impossible to do.
He couldn't do it. He'd have like, because he's got like the Grey Knights, the Death Watch, all the Inquisitors. He's got the RBTs he could put in there. He's got
Yeah.
that weird kill team with a dog. You know, he'd love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could
Anything
you
with
could
a dog
you
is
could
going to
bring
get his
sisters
attention.
in. You could bring sisters
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
He'd hate it because he couldn't figure out the scheme. I think the scheme would cripple him now.
All right. I think that's a good shout. Awesome. Well, that's us for the little Grimdark Would You Rathers. So we'll do a little catch up with everyone because, particularly for our gamers, we've had some big updates. But Dan, I am also desperate for a little update on the Tyranids situation
So
because I know
Yes,
there's been some
Tyranids.
airbrush action going on.
there's been a little bit of airbrush. So I think I've got to the point where oh god, where are they? They're literally under here, so we have a look. Everything's basically been painted up to the level where it's ready to go into the ink, and then can start sort of working on that side. But the one test what I did when scraping off the ink, then took half the paint with it as well, which not ideal. So then I think I stuck in the group like, is this varnish all right to use? And Matt came down very, very keenly on like, don't need a fucking varnish. What are you doing? But I think I'm going to go for it anyway.
It's
just 'cause-
bloody shite.
yeah. The other ways he had of like stopping it from happening was like, oh yeah, just make sure the undercoat's really thick. I was like, I'm quite far along in the painting process at this
Yeah.
point. So yeah, once I've got that, just basically varnish everything, chuck a load of oil on it, and then it should be nearing readiness to actually put them on a tabletop, which would be cool. Yeah, are they the? So I think I showed a few example models, and Matt and I think you were like, "Oh yeah, you feather a few bits to like add to the highlights along the back."
Yeah.
which has tripled the painting time of the entire army.
Which was our plan at the beginning.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're getting there. I haven't had as much time as I'd want this week to work on them. I've just been busy doing a few other bits. But yeah,
So they kind of at that. Matt calls it the ugly stage. I think we've just got like the
Yes.
base coats down, and then
Yeah.
you're still waiting for that next step to give it like a bit of life and a bit of depth.
yeah, start
Yeah.
tying it together a bit. Like,
Yeah. And so Matt
Yeah.
Matt said not to use varnish, did he?
yeah, I can't remember what specifically he said. I think it was basically just have a really good undercoat, and then make sure you're not using too much liquid when you're removing it.
Right.
There's a few other bits, and so I was looking into this, and I was just like, I don't trust myself enough to do that. To be quite honest, so I'm just going to chuck on the varnish and make it nice and safe for myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean Matt's obviously the guy to ask because he does that style a lot. But yeah, when I've done that, I've always used varnish. Always.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing those all finished off. That'd be good.
So am I.
Yeah. Do you know what you're doing for the basing yet? 'Cause you were
No.
debating that one.
Yeah, because they're going to
Cool
be quite
jungle.
dark and quite like grummy. So I was thinking maybe sort of either jungle, like you said, or just doing
Jungle's a
like
good
dark
shout.
bluey sort of rubble. The jungle would be probably longer, more difficult to do, but I reckon
Maybe-
it
what about
probably make
swamp?
them stand out. Yeah, maybe swamp actually, because that can be quite grimdark
Yeah.
and still have them stand out on it.
Yeah.
So
That's a
need to-
good call with yeah, because if you did swamp or like muddy, then you could still have some grass foliage.
Yeah, you could
so
put a
it
bit of
be kind
shrubbery in there, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, and that'd look good.
that's a good shout. Nice.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks. Connor, I think the last catch up actually the week you weren't here, we were basically getting live updates from, is it Doonhammer? We were getting
Yes,
live
Doorhammer.
updates about
Doorhammer,
your,
yes.
yeah, which was good.
Matt had
And-
people on the inside taking pictures of me and everything.
good. Nice. No.
No, it was good.
Yeah, so you got on pretty well, right?
Yeah, I did. It's the first WTC event I've ever done because Scotland likes to be different to the rest of the country, apparently. So,
Always.
every event that I've ever
Always.
been to and everything, I've completely goes out the window with brand new terrain rules. And however,
Okay.
you can pull the terrain up on WTC because it's on a square, and then there's a piece of terrain on the square. So there's got the
Okay.
footprint, and then you put the terrain on the footprint. So if you're ever struggling with
Yeah, I
charging,
think that's a good thing.
yeah, you just pull the terrain up and measure, and then put it back down. I thought I like that. I do. It was a good event, very well organised. It's the first ever one in Scotland as well. The biggest Warhammer tournament in Scotland, the first one there. I went into game number one a bit, not nervous was the word, a bit sceptical to see how this would be, and I got absolutely smashed into the ground by a very, very good Eldar player. Very good, and I thought, oh, here we go. So, but the nerves are out of the system once you lose the first game. So I went into the second game, and I don't know what did I play against on the second game. Bear with me. I'm bringing up my records.
Nice.
What did I play second game? Bear with me, gents. I'm meant to be
No
very
worries.
well prepared, but I know I know everyone I played. I just can't remember the order in which I did it. Yes, I played Chaos Space Marines next. That was it, which was a very different kettle of fish. And ironically, had Noise Marines in it as well, so it was a bit of Emperor's Children in there as well. It was very, very good. I shot him off the board very nicely. The Riptides did extremely good work.
Nice.
I was
Nice,
very, very
nice.
happy. Shot him off the board. Won 13-7, which is 77-60 in normal scoring.
Wow.
First
Do
game I
they
lost
score
2-18,
differently
by
as
the way.
well?
Yeah, they score differently. It's called WTC, which is World Team Championships in a singles event. That's what I don't understand, but it's basically like for every 5 points difference is a point, basically. So if let's say I won the game 55-50, it would be a draw.
You won.
It would be a draw. Yeah, it'd be 10-10.
It'd be 10-10,
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't like the scoring. Yeah,
50 would be 11-9.
yeah. It's really weird. But
That's
I
bizarre.
lost I lost 46-91, and that ended up in a 2-18 loss, game 1. It's a bit to get your head round. I don't like that system of it myself, but there we go. And then, game number 3, I went into more chaos, but a demon list. It was like, I looked at it first, I said, please don't be the big boy list. And it was the big boy list. And when I say big boy list, I mean all the big demons. There was Great Unclean. There was 2 Great Unclean ones. There was Rotigus. There was a Changer of Ways. There was a Corn Scarbrand. There you go. Scarbrand and
Bellacore.
It's Bellacore right in the middle as well. So that gives the whole everything within range of him 18-inch Lord Operative, which means I can't shoot him from far.
Yeah.
Which is not fun, not nice at all. Ironically, I told him what my army rule was, and he went for the weird. How do I put it? He went for the weird game plan. Is okay, then I will wait you out turn 1, 2, and 3, and then I will come at you. And I thought, all right then. So he basically put his small units on objectives turn 1, 2, and 3, and to get it to, and then I shot all these action pieces, and then when it was, I went second. So no, I went first. Sorry, which means at turn 3 I knew, all right, this is my final round where I get my army bonus. So I ran in the middle. I just went all 3 Riptides across the board, screened out the front, and I thought, all right, then give me your best shot. And I held, ironically, and I shot him off the board turn 4. I think the only thing that was left was 2 Great Unclean ones, but they were so far on the other side of the board, they couldn't get there. He failed, to be fair, he did fail like a 6-inch charge re-rolled with Scarbrand, which I had to feel a bit sorry for him. I was like, yes! Get in the corner, but yeah. It was horrible for him. Absolutely horrible.
That's a body blow. Yeah, that's a body blow.
Absolutely is. You know.
What should he have done then?
Honestly, he should have just aggroed me turn 1. If he got the mid board with those Great Unclean ones, I would be forced to try and take him off of it. And a Great Unclean one with a 4-up invulnerable save and a 4-up Feel No Pain with 20, I think it's like 20 wounds, toughness 13. It takes a lot. Even Tau shooting with lethal hits takes a lot to kill that thing. A lot.
Even with your new strength 10 ion cannons.
Yeah, because you're still only wounding it on 5s because it's toughness 13. Yeah. It's incredible.
That's wild.
It is absolutely horrendous to kill. Devastating wounds, all right. I still get to negate half of them on my Feel No Pains. So it's like all the damage you go through, he will statistically save half of the first wave, and then save half of the wounds as well on the Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Disgusting it is, that model. Yes.
And so he had basically 3 of those. You say he had Rotigus as well. Yeah.
He had 2 Great Unclean ones, and Rotigus, which is the named character version. But he's actually easier to kill.
Really?
Yeah, but he gives a buff of +1 to hit, and -1 to my save around him as well. So he buffs
that army sounds like the sort of army that James would be tempted to field.
That is a stat check army. That's what it is.
It is. That's the army that I kind of think, people shouldn't be using that. But there's part of me that thinks I really want to use that.
It does work, to be fair. If you don't have enough guns or enough anti-vehicle, that will roll over you like a freight train.
Yeah.
It will.
Who's his sort of like battle line type units in that army then? Or is it all just big characters?
He had a unit of Plague Bearers. He had 2 units of
Hounds. Flesh Hounds.
Yeah, he had 2 units of Flesh Hounds.
Flamers?
And I think he had... No, he didn't have no Flamers, no. He went for... I think he went for Spawn.
Spawn? Yeah, Spawn.
He went for a couple of units of Spawn. Yeah, and some Nurglings.
You love a little Nurgling, don't you, Connor?
Absolutely.
Cute little guys.
Cute little. They are cute. They are. I shot them easily enough. They didn't cause any issues. And then I went on to game 4 versus Imperial Fists. Now there's a little story behind this one. Is end of game 3, went back to the hotel, and then the matchings were up for tomorrow, the day after. And originally I was meant to be playing a 1,000 Sun player, and the 1,000 Sun army looked horrendous. It looked made by somebody who knew what they were doing. So I was a little bit scared. I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be a bit brutal. But he lost his game 3, and apparently he was quite a good player, and so he dropped out of the event because he thought he was only in it to win it. And the fact that he lost game 3 means he had no chance of winning it, so he just didn't turn up the next day.
Wow.
Yeah, so I paired up against the only other person who didn't have an opponent. So I got very lucky that it was literally just Gladius Space Marines, Imperial Fists, no invuln saves. And I went, oh yes, thank you, God. Thank you. I got a very lucky break. And he played very well, but he said it was only his 5th game of 10th edition. So I felt
Was
a
it
bit bad
James?
going into it. It wasn't
Clear,
James,
it sounds
no.
like it's me.
To be fair, he did look like a young version of James.
A young
Lovely.
version?
Yeah,
How's that
yeah,
possible?
Come on, James. Oh, don't be fooling anyone. Yeah, that was good. Well, I won the last game, sorry. I won it 78-68, the Demons. I won 11-9. So it was quite close because they can score very well. And then I won the Space Marine one 86-70, which was a 13-7. So that was a nice win. It was very
Nice.
Targat. He moved Lysander out very early to kill a piranha, which was exactly what I wanted him to do. Then my entire army just clapped his cheeks, which was very, very nice. The bonsai piranhas, I'm telling you. You
There you
put it in
go.
front of them and you can't resist. Space Marine players cannot resist an easy kill. Cannot resist it. You just leave that little fish out and it will come out and it'll eat it, and then you give him
Dangle
food
that
poisoning.
bait.
Yes.
Yeah.
I literally just rolled around the board. He had one corner with a Land Raider and he just castled. As James rightly said when I showed him pictures of it as the game was going on, he just castled, and because he castled, I just took the board and won quite nice. He was a nice chap and all. It was really nice, to be fair. It was really nice. He had horrible dice, though. When I say horrible dice, I don't mean he had horrible dice rolls. He had the worst dice I've ever seen.
The actual dice themselves.
The dice, you could not read. It was like a weird sort of resin yellow dice, but like a dark yellow. And the pip was yellow as well. And you could not read them dice. It was horrible. I had to pick some of them up sometimes and look, because I wasn't sure. And it was awful. I don't think he cheated. He just does not like... Those dice were awful. I hated playing against those dice.
This poor guy, if he's listening to this podcast, like, I love my custom-made dice that I got to match my Imperial Fist.
He said the dice, when the game started, he said, these dice are shite. I ordered them before I ordered some more before the event, but they just didn't arrive in time. So all right then. And he refused to roll in my dice tray because apparently that's bad luck. There we go. Yeah, apparently some people have the superstition if you roll in somebody else's dice tray, it'll not end well. I never, doesn't bother me. I'll roll in anyone's dice tray.
Didn't seem to help
I'm all
him.
for standardising dice. I think you're right. Some of these weird to read ones are a bit of a pain in the backside.
Yeah, you should have it. It should only be one symbol on the dice, and that should be a 6. The double symbol dice are horrible because how do I know if that's a 6 or a 1?
Yeah.
It's like I'm in school.
I am vaguely surprised that a competitive tournament is not providing their own dice.
Yeah, I would think that
it
as
cost
well.
a fortune, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you had to give everyone a set
You
of
don't
dice.
give them away.
A lot.
No, but even then, just having that many dice, think about it. You're going to need at least, 2 different colours for each table, at least 50 dice on each side, at least. And there's like 300 players. That gets expensive very quickly. And you should expect your 40k players to have a set of dice to play the game.
Well, yeah, it's not about whether or not they got dice. It's like, how do you make sure that even just that player with his own dice, it's a bit annoying. But
I
there's
imagine
probably
they
people out there that have some, like, their set of dice where, they want a 6 and they got another set of dice that are weighted for them.
The fake dice and stuff. Really, if I thought it mattered, I probably would have called a ref over, but I didn't think I needed it. He was honest, to be fair, and I had no issue with it. If it was a bit of a closer game, and I thought he was being a bit iffy with these dice rolls, I would have called a judge over and probably got a replacement set of dice. I imagine.
Yeah.
They do have their own dice, so I reckon they would have got a set of dice if we needed it.
Yeah.
So that's not an issue.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then in game 5, I got paired into another Connor, who was another Tau player, with the exact same detachment.
The Tau player was called Connor as well.
Connor, yes, Conar though, Scott, and he was Team Scotland's Tau player as well. So I went into this thinking I'm absolutely screwed, right? I thought, all right. I said to him, look,
that's the winning attitude you need.
Well, I did. Well, come on. You expect you're playing somebody who is a faction specialist for their country. You expect them to absolutely bend you over a little bit, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would class it as. Ironically, he was a nice guy, to be fair, and I got a couple of Team Scotland dice off him, but it was a close game. Very, very close. Ironically, and if he's listening to this, as we will be extremely popular at this point,
Exactly.
he actually got a couple of rules wrong that I had to correct him with.
No, really.
Yeah, just minor ones. Like, he was convinced the leadership of a Kroot carnivore was 6. And I said, I will give you 20 quid if that was a 6. If that's 6. Because it isn't. It isn't. You're telling me that the chickens have better leadership than the rest of the infantry. No, I was right. I was absolutely right, may I point out. But apparently
Did
I've
you
been
get the
playing...
money?
Yeah, and however, I've been playing my army rules slightly wrong the entire time. When I say slightly wrong, I don't mean cheating. May I just point this out? The
Thank you for
FAQ something
clarifying.
to make something a bit easier that I didn't realise, because with the tau spotting, at the start of the shooting phase, we allocate our spotters. So that seems easy enough, yeah? I thought I had to pick my targets then as well, but I don't. I just have to say,
No.
this unit's going to spot, this unit's going to spot, and this unit's going to spot. But I get to choose when and what it spots later down the line. Because when this rule first came out, it meant I could pop a transport open, but I couldn't target what was inside. I couldn't spot what was inside because I had to do it all at the beginning of the shooting phase. But apparently they slipped in an FAQ and they changed it where you pick your spotters at the start, but you get to choose when it spots, which is very important. So he told me that.
Yeah, that sounds like quite a big.
I'll be very great. Yeah,
a big one.
I'll be forever grateful. So I used it against him to absolute lethal effect. And it came down to my Riptides. You know when you just have one of those games where you just roll really well, and he rolled okay. I just rolled better. There was about 60 saves I had to make on my Riptides throughout the course of that game, and I saved about 40 ups. Yeah, you just think, ooh. So I technically, if it was a normal game, I would have lost because it was 75-8. So it was a draw 10-10.
Okay.
So I came away with a loss, 3 wins with a draw. So ironically, the exact same I did at Manchester as well last year. So I'm consistent, if nothing else. So, yes.
Yeah,
Very
that's
happy
why I
finish.
like that scoring.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I would have been 3-2 if it wasn't for WTC scoring. I happily agree to that. I came 32nd out of 134. So I'll take that.
Great effort. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
I would have, if it wasn't for the guy that I just beat, Drew, I would have been the best towel player as well. But I wasn't. Thank you. Aye, but he did better on his other games than me, so he got ranked high. I think he got 27. So there wasn't much in it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's really respectable because
Yeah.
he's like a national player, right?
He is. It's
Scottish
only Scotland though. It's a very, very small portion, isn't it? Scotland. Like the
Brutal.
football, isn't it?
Wait till
So I'm
one time he's not
going
here.
to take advantage of him not being here, aren't I? The shit talking a little bit.
Connor, do you stand by a couple of weeks back? You were saying how you feel like in general the tournaments up north are harder. Do you stand by that? Do you think that's still applicable?
I reckon that is,
Yeah.
because technically there's a couple of games where I got very twitchy with. The first game I got blown out of the water, which kind of helps because then you're going to play against somebody else who got absolutely blown out of the water. So you kind of work your way back up. And then the guy that the towel player I played lost to Ben Inns, the world number 1. Ben, what's his name, James?
Innes Wilson.
Innes Wilson, yeah. Innes Wilson, yeah. He lost to Innes Wilson, so if it wasn't for the fact that he'd lost to Innes, it would have been, I would have lost, if he beat Innes, I would have played Innes Wilson, and I guarantee you, it would not have been a draw. It would not have been a draw.
Okay.
It would have been an absolute slaughter. So
What does he play? Where's he from?
I think he's English. Yeah, he's part of Team England. He's Team
Scottish.
England captain. Is he Scottish?
No, he's Scottish. Yeah, Scottish.
Oh, there you go. He's one of the best. He's one of the best players in the world. He went to London GT and finished 3rd, I think.
I think on the ITC rankings, he's number 1 at the moment.
Number 1.
I think
yeah,
he's
he's
top.
number 1. He came third at London GT as well, didn't he? I think, James. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
He
he's
did
very
really
good,
well.
very good.
But he brought 2 different armies to. But he played World Eaters at Doonhammer and won the event. And then he brought a completely different Space Marine army down to London GT and came third. So incredible.
Was really good. It must. I mean, that is really the more and I'm still know nothing, but the more I try and get my head around rules in the games and stuff, I just think it must be so hard to get your head around more than one army. Like, for example, you talking about Tau there, Connor, like you were telling the other player some stuff that he didn't know, and he's told you stuff that you don't know. So imagine trying to do that for multiple armies. Very difficult.
The thing is, I don't like meta chasing players. I understand, I respect that they do it, and I understand they have to. Like, the best players in the world will swap to whatever it is. And maybe I've become a snob now. I prefer the faction specialists, right? So you will play your one army, or maybe 2 armies. You will learn them very, very well, and you will stick to them through thick and thin. Okay? The issue I have with people, there's a lot of people that go to these big events that swap to different factions whenever they're ready, is you see them, their armies look absolute dog shit. And it really irritates me. It irritates me so much. They look awful. And if it's someone who's just not a great painter who has tried really well, that's fine. But I know that Innes Wilson and his 17 armies has not done them to the best of his ability. I'm sorry. They are all basic, like a little bit of red on there, a little bit of it, base coated, 3-color base coat done, and they're happy. A little bit on the base. That's all they have to do to make it legal. And it irritates me so much.
Is that because of the principle of it, because they're meta chasing, or is it just because when they're on the tabletop it doesn't look as good, isn't as much fun?
I think it's if I have a nice, beautifully painted army that looks cool, then I want to take some really nice thematic pictures, and there's my really nice Riptide against something that was made by James when he was 6, I don't want to dig. I don't want to put it on Facebook or Instagram then, do I? It ruins my experience a little bit. Maybe I'm a snob, but I cannot stand. I would rather play an unpainted army than a badly painted army.
Yeah. No, I don't think that is being snobbish, personally. James, what do you reckon? You reckon that's a fair comment?
No, I agree. It does kind of break up my immersion in the game and stuff. Not everyone can paint brilliantly, or not everyone can afford to have someone paint it brilliantly for them. But yeah, when someone could, but they're just not because they've got 15 armies, that is a little bit annoying. I think what they could do for like some of these big ranking systems, because the trouble is there's lots of different it's one game, but there's different layouts and different it's a bit like boxing where you've got different belts, different organizations. But if they could all agree that maybe at the start of each season you had to nominate, say, 2 factions that you were going to play for that year, that season, I think that would be quite good fun. And that would add a bit more something to the whole thing. If people couldn't jump around, like this season I'm picking Space Marines and Tyranids, and that's it for the year kind of thing. I think that would be good.
That's a great shout. I really like the sound of that.
It would never happen.
Yeah, if you could...
But it's a really good shout, yeah.
No, it won't happen.
Well, I mean, all the tournament organisers, I mean, there must be some mutual databases that are, for like people who are banned or people who they need to keep an eye on. Like, could they not put something like this in? Like, oh, well, James is a registered...
Go on,
yeah. Can you? James is on the register.
Something's on the register, right?
Everyone.
Yeah, that's not an old people's home. It's actually a minimum security prison. He's saying. No, so James is a registered, and then I nearly said fist. Right, James is a registered Space Marine player.
He's a registered fist, is he?
Gary Glitter is only an hour down the road at the moment.
Oh, is he? What does he play?
Ooh.
I'm not sure. Probably Emperor's Children.
Yeah, yes. 100% Emperor's Children. Yeah, it's a shame they can't do that. That would be good, I think. That would be good. and was not even at the tournament. I used to go to the local gaming club in Hampshire. Can't remember the name of the town. Very close to Bransgore. Nice little gaming club. They used to rent out like a local library. Really popular. Loads of players used to come, and so I used to just go down every now and then because I knew the owner. And yeah, probably like half the armies weren't painted. You know, either they were just base coated, or the people that had maybe painted half to a decent standard, and then some of them were just playing with like totally grey. Some of them playing with like, oh, they built them all, but then they were just prime. And yeah, I just remember just thinking that was a big shame. Just thinking, oh, well,
Did you go
like
over
in
and
a
say,
way, you should.
here's my card?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
did you go
Well,
over,
that was kind of
even
the,
back
that was kind of
professional
the
army
idea.
painter.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. What I did notice was that a lot of the people with the most unpainted models tended to be like on the younger side, so it'd be like, you know, like early teens or whatever. And they were actually had some really young players, like actual, you know, proper sort of primary school age kids doing it. But yeah, I don't know. I just think like your club says you have to have a painted army, right, to play.
No, our league requires a
Your league.
basic three. But the basic, I hate the basic three principle. You need three colours, don't you? So you need, you know, your base coat, your second accent, and like a third colour. So mine for my tower would be grey, black, and like a yellowy orange. Like if you base coated that, done. That's it. No highlights, no nothing. Just base coated it. No shades. There you go. Done. And the thing is, you don't have to do it all. You could do the whole. You could spray the whole thing. Like my whole riptide could be sprayed grey. You could put one little panel yellow, right, and one little bit on the shield black. There's your three colours done.
Wow.
I hate it.
There's that classic thing of,
I hate
because
it.
it's quite a subjective thing to basically, if you were saying, oh, it has to be painted well to join a league, it's kind of like, well, where do you draw the line between somebody might just not be a very good painter and you can't not let them play?
Yeah, it should be a fully painted army, not like a finished army. That's all you have to put. I'm not asked what standard it is. It should be at least three colours and fully painted. I can forgive basing, right? I can. If you've got a really nice demon prince, but you just didn't have enough time to base him, fine. No problem there. You know what I mean? I have no issue with that. It doesn't ruin the immersion, in my opinion. But, you know, it's just does my head in. I don't know why. And it's always the really meta players. It's always the really meta ones who want to ruin everybody else's fun that do it.
I think it's an especial shame when I look at, like, it is so you could do that basic three colours, but then it takes literally maybe an extra 30 seconds. You could have, so Army Painter do a tin, like literally like, you know, like a paint tin of, they call it tone. It's basically a shade. And I've seen people literally, they just have all their models out. They just pick one up, dip it, like upside down, dip it in the tone, like, you know, shake it off, put it to one side. But that's, how basic is that? But that's still, because obviously the tone finds all the shades, and that still looks 100 times better than having no shading.
Yeah, right.
So there's kind of almost like no excuse in a way, because it's just, it could be that easy, just like dip. And, you know, that's like an hour's work to do your entire army.
Like, is that easy enough that I could do that? I mean, how easy are we talking here?
Yeah, James, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. Yeah. I mean, the results, but
you could tell the difference.
What yeah.
But what
what
do you think the easiest possible painting scheme is? If I wanted to pick an army, and you would say this is the easiest possible scheme that you could do,
I know what it is.
Something like Death Guard, or
no? Right? I want to whisper it in my microphone. Custodes.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah, okay,
Spray paint gold. Put some shade on the bad boy. Red Kate. Send it. Done. That is all it is. And it is easy. It's easy because you only need like 15 to 20 models. And your army's done.
That's true, yeah.
It's the least amount of models. It is the best beginner army to get into. It's the easiest.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's hard to argue
have
against.
got to be quite up there, though.
What is that?
Because Necrons. Base coat black, dry brush silver, could call it finished.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
wouldn't even need to
but
pay.
there's more of them.
You literally could. It's the same as the custodies. You can buy a rattle can of silver paint. You'd literally just walk it up, and they're easy to build as well. Literally just walk it up and down the line. And if you really wanted to, you could. A young Connor, yeah. If you really wanted to, you could prime it black, then do the silver from the top, so you get like a little bit of like a shading effect. And then if you really wanted to, then you could dip the whole lot, and then all that tone gets in there. And then you could call it done. You could call it. You wouldn't get like the nice glow effects, and it would look super basic. But
a young me thought the same idea.
James thing.
I got the Battle Force box when I was young, and I didn't eventually go with Necrons. But this was back when Necrons had the green, the little green thing they put in the gun.
little glow tube things.
Young me didn't realise that spray painting after gluing that in was a good idea. 20 warriors ruined.
Oof.
Yeah, the only trouble with those two suggestions are you've picked my number 1 and number 2 armies that I would have voted for never choosing to play.
Yeah.
Most knights aren't that bad, are they?
I mean, you could do it with Space Marines. You could do that whole dipping method. I mean, it would look pretty trash, but you could do it. And you could then just do like a quick dry brush on them, or just use contrast paint, something like that. Contrast paints are good for just.
Yeah, there's some really nice Imperial.
I mean, you're basically talking Chinese to me now. Dry brushing, contrast paints.
Yeah. So contrast paints. Sorry. So contrast paint,
just dipping something.
Yeah, this is how it happens.
I've got to use a brush now. What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, James. Sorry, we've gone way off reservation there. Right. So Connor, well done. Finished 30. Did you say 32nd?
I could have 134.
Yeah, that is good.
Really good.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That was very hard.
Well done. Nice. You had
on to me.
A certain London GT with three sort of warm up battles under your belt.
3 games ever of 40k under my belt.
Nice. Down at your local club.
Amazing.
All 3 of which I never actually played 5 turns. We never got to finish.
Oh, really? Look at Connor's face.
Outrage.
If he got the 3rd win, I would have been so angry with him. I would have been, because I've put my heart and soul into this, and he just turns up with no experience and gets 3 wins. I would have been pissed.
Just smashes it.
I would have been pissed.
I mean, I wasn't that far off. A couple of better dice rolls in that game, and a couple of better decisions. I made some poor decisions in that game. I maybe could have won. Probably not. It's unlikely. It's very unlikely. But yeah, great experience. You know, I was a lot more settled, having at least played 3 half games of 40k before going. And it was just all the little basic things like, you know, setting up the terrain, you know, stuff that Connor wouldn't even consider. You know, it's not even on his thoughts anymore. Like setting up your dice tray, you know, just insignificant, silly things. Doing it all for the first time, it's still a thing. So at least having got some of those things out of the way, I was a little more relaxed. But still, I wasn't nervous. I don't think that's the right word. I felt a bit out of my depth, you know, if I'm honest. It was obviously it's a massive event, nearly 1,100 players. I was down on table 536, I think, to start. We're right down the very bottom end of the event.
There was more people.
I don't know
at this event than ever before as well. It hit Guinness World Records, that one. It was the biggest event ever.
Biggest,
in Warhammer. Yeah, ever had.
It's pretty cool.
Wow, it's amazing.
So
and this was your first one after 3. Sorry.
Walking in and seeing that many nerds all buzzing away, busily setting everything up, all night knowing what they were doing. Well, not on the first day. And yeah, of course, little things like at the gaming club, you've got plenty of room, got a bit of space down the side of the table for you to put all your bits and pieces. We were in there a bit like sardines, we were wedged in. The gaming mat for my game touched the next one kind of thing, so it was, you were all side by side by side. One or two tables were lucky they had a bit more space, or if you're on an end, you might have had a bit more space. But yeah, everyone was friendly, quickly chatting to like people on the tables side to side. Everyone just seemed to want to interact with other Warhammer 40k players. I think
Nice.
people just
That's
had that. You've all got that natural kind of bond, whether you paint and hobby and do the whole thing, or whether you game and read the lore, or everything all together. Everyone kind of felt like you had that connection with people.
Yeah.
All different nationalities. I was chatting to a guy from Finland, a guy from Holland. Irish chap I played. People travelling from all over the place. I didn't see... No, I didn't. I didn't see a single female player, unfortunately. It's still...
And he was looking.
It's a man's world.
Yeah.
It's a man's world.
He was on the prowl.
I had my eye out, but there was no one there. No one that I saw, anyway. So yeah, into the game. First game against Necrons, pretty apprehensive because they'd gone for a kind of a net-listed army, 2 big blocks of race, which is very difficult to kill. The Blimmin' Silent King, difficult to kill. 2 Doomsday Arcs. Kill anything on your army if they get a chance. And loads of movement and fly and everything bloody else. So as we started to play, I don't know if because I felt like there wasn't really any pressure on me. And well, there wasn't. I went with the attitude that I was probably going to lose all 5 games. And let's just have fun and just gain some experience and get a bit of practice out of it. As sort of the game was going on, one mistake I made, I didn't score any of the games. I let them just score it on their phone. Going back now, I wouldn't do that because I kind of half sort of kept a bit of a written note of what was going on. I wasn't really tracking exactly what the scores were, and obviously that can make a big difference as to what moves you're going to make or not make. So the first game, played it through. There was a little bit of a very maybe minor incident towards the end where he was bang on me with the clock. There was still time in the round, and it would have changed the result. I would have won. But either way, we had a nice friendly game apart from that. Narrow loss, 84-80, I think it was. So in Connor's tournament, that would have been a draw because it was that close.
Yeah.
Nice game. And it did kind of relax me. I sort of thought, well, hold on, maybe I can play this game. I can actually play Warhammer, even though I'd lost. I thought I didn't get trashed. I thought, well, okay, maybe I can actually sneak a win here. Into the next game against Custodes, and I was immediately sort of nervous. Obviously the thing everyone says to you as well is, have you ever played Necrons before? Have you ever played Custodes before? And I was thinking, I've never played anyone before, mate. Of course, I never said that. Yeah, just refresh me of a couple of the main rules. So I was quite nervous because I was a bit nervous because of what I'd heard about Custodes, thinking, oh god, they're going to be really difficult to kill. They've got these feel no pains, blah blah blah. But as the match went on, they don't have many resources. They're obviously very tough. They can do a lot of damage, but there aren't many of them. And if they're a bit unlucky, or you manage to kill a few of their units, they quite quickly lose control of the board. And sure enough, that's what happened to this poor fella. I ended up deep striking some Terminators right back next to his home objective. He had some Sisters of Silence back there. I think I blasted them off with one round of shooting from the Terminators. Yeah, but blasted their brains out. Walked onto his home. And I think we were playing Purge.
Did you say as you did, James? Did you say as you did that? Where were you? Where were you? When the
Where were you, man?
Where were you? Where were you?
Where were you, lot? Greasing yourselves up, doing some bicep curls. Yeah, and ended up killing a lot of his units. I think I killed more and held more in most of the turns. Yeah, I mean, he said he wasn't usually a Custodes player. He was normally a Necron player. And he's not going to use Custodes again. He'd borrowed the army off a friend. So maybe that was a little bit of luck for me. Because yeah, he kind of did march them forward, wanting them to do the thing that Custodes do. And they kind of did, but I was able to draw down a heck of a lot of fire on some of his units. And with the +1 to wound of Oath at the moment, his toughness and stuff didn't count for as much as maybe it should have done. So yeah, got a win. Blown away. Couldn't believe it. Thought, well, here we go. Maybe I can make a bit of a run.
Yeah.
Next game was against a Tau player.
I was so pleased for you. I just could not not that I couldn't believe it, but I just had like I was buzzing for you when you told us.
But
No,
I couldn't believe it.
hated
I mean, well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the game, I was sort of trying to play it cool, not wanting to tell him it's like my 5th ever game of 40k.
Oh no, that you would have got in his head then. If you told him after that game
Yeah,
you beat him, it's one of my 5th game of 40k ever. He would have been, I reckon, he would have been mortified. You'd have absolutely trampled
I
his
think you're right.
confidence.
I think you're right.
I didn't want to say that. Inside, yeah, I was absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
So yeah, on to the last game of that day against Tau. Quite intimidating. You get a lot of units now, don't you? Because the
we
points
do.
drops and things.
We do.
There was a heck of a lot of stuff, and it's all, yeah. There's a lot of big stuff facing me down. 3 Riptides, those Sky Ray things.
Skyray gunships, yeah.
Sky Ray gunships, that's it. A couple of them, other bits and bobs. He was tired. He looked pretty weary, this fella. He said he hadn't slept very well, and he did look like he was probably on his 15th monster. Trying to keep him going.
Fair.
And yeah, the game just kind of went my way. I think I killed more than he was expecting me to. And because I did that early, I think that then spooked him. And he kept his Riptides a bit hidden away rather than bullying with them, which allowed me to bully more. I think turns 1 and 2, neither of us held much primary. It was
What detachment was he playing?
Moncar, same as you.
Same as me. So he played passive turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, he was a bit nervous. He pushed in his piranha, or 2 piranhas. I killed those very quickly. I killed them instantly, and they didn't do any damage. His broadsides, they did kill something, but it was almost like they only had one big shot in them or something like that.
Yeah, he had a unit of 3, didn't he? That's the most peculiar thing I've ever seen. A unit of 3, the more expensive and they're easier to kill with. I use 3 lots of 1 because then you can move around the board and have them where you want instead of a big brick of 3. I saw that when you sent me that list. I mean, what's he playing at with a brick of 3?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
he costs more points than having 3 individual ones.
Yeah, strange. He got spooked, I think. And I had my Lancer and some other big sort of anti-tank stuff down that side of the board. And he was just tucked up right down in his deployment zone. And by the time he started to try and get things out, turns 3 and 4, I'd already scored a lot of primary and took the game away from him. Unfortunately for him. Fortunately for me. And I was another win. Unbelievable. Ended the first day 2 and 1. I couldn't believe it.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
It's pretty awesome, mate.
I
Nice.
know.
Yeah, I was well chuffed. But of course, the flip side was I then ended up, as I said, I started on table 536. Started the second day, I was on table 96. And I was against this very nice chap from Ireland, who at the end of the game told me how he's like, I can't remember what it was, number 2 in Ireland. He's on their national team. He's got a golden ticket to go to LVO. I don't know if he's actually there or not. He was umming and ahhing whether he's going to go. So, needless to say, I was out of my depth.
They're the best games, though, because you can learn a lot from those sort of games, though.
Yeah, exactly, and I did. And he was very friendly. I think after the first 2 turns, the game was effectively over. You know, there was no way back from me. I did have some really bad luck with dice rolls, and he had some really good luck, and it almost became a bit of a joke because towards the end we were rolling stuff out, and he was still like rolling endless 6s, and I just couldn't hit anything for toffee. But that's just the way it goes, isn't it?
What was he playing? Sorry,
Space Wolves. He was Space Wolves.
Space Wolves. Cool.
Very, very aggressive tactics. He took the detachment called. It's like the Hunters type one, where they can select their prey.
Beast. It's like beast something.
Yeah, could be. We need Matt here, don't we? But yeah,
We do.
once he killed his target, he ended up then with like army-wide lethals or something like that. And when he had 2 repulsor executioners, they were putting out something like 40 lethal shots each. And knowing now, some of his units, like the Wolfen and the Head Takers, if you let them get into combat with you, they will do a lot of damage. Masses of damage. They'll delete any unit they come into contact with pretty much. You know, if you let them.
Right.
A couple of bad decisions by me, a couple of like rookie errors. But lots learned. And at the end, because we finished early, we ended up talking out the last turn. I think we finished about half an hour or even more before the end of the round. We just had a nice chat then. And he talked me through a few things. He started giving me some tips and tactics, things he said, oh, you could have done this, could have done that. Even suggesting different units I could take and ways they'd interact with different detachments and stuff. So yeah, it was a really nice
That's so cool.
experience. Yeah, nice. And I got the feeling most people are like that. I'm sure some people aren't, but I got the general vibe that people were friendly and nice like that. But see, I finished that. I felt a little bit miffed. Not that I'd lost, but because I'd made a couple of mistakes during it. I thought, you idiot, if that had gone differently, you know, at least I could have made more of a fight of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going into the last battle against Imperial Guard, I was losing a bit of my internal oomph. You know, the 5th game, my brain was starting to get a little bit tired. My knees were hurting. My back was hurting. I hadn't eaten or drunk properly for those. Yeah, I mean, it does. You do need to
Those
have.
tables are low.
Yeah, the tables are low. You either need decent fitness or, you know, just to be practiced. I didn't use my chair enough. Everyone talks about sitting down more as being a secret skill. Is a pro tip. Sit down more.
Wow. In life.
In life, just take a sit. Just take a seat.
Yeah. Yeah. Sit down.
Definitely should have sat down more. And I think it quite quickly I think the combination of me not being that up for it and me feeling like his list was just a really good match into my list, I started making some pretty slack decisions by sort of turn 2 and 3. The game was getting away from me very quickly, and it was only going one way. But that can happen. I mean, I'm sure Connor's played some matches where you start and just think, my list is not going to fare very well here. It's just a bad matchup.
Yeah.
You say that's fair?
Yeah, you can go into some and you're like, oh, here we go. And you're fighting up current the entire game. And it's, you know what you think he's out. The only way you're winning it is if he plays like shite. And if you realise very early on in the game if he's a good player or not. And if the player knows what they're doing, you thought, there's no way out of this, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it felt a bit like that.
Who was this guy playing? Sorry again, James.
Imperial Guard.
Imperial
Guard. Yeah.
I think I remember you mentioning that would be one of the factions you just didn't want to see across the table at one point.
Yeah, he was a mono guard player, knew all the lore and stuff. We had quite a good chat about some of the things. He was telling me about various Catachan heroes and different little things. It was quite good fun. But he kind of really had his list drilled down that he knew what every unit's job was. And so for that particular mission and that particular layout, he knew, right, this is going to go here, they're going to do that. This is going to go here, they're going to hold that. And because it was my 8th ever game, I didn't know that. And I very quickly thought, I've lost here. Almost, I think probably from deployment, I'd lost. I just put things in slightly the wrong place. I should have completely ignored the central objective. I should have just written that off and given that to him, because he had 12 Bulgrin lurking behind there and 2 sets of screens to cage me in behind my sort of bit of terrain. It's one of the ones where both of you can set up very close to the center objective behind a big block of terrain. But he had such a massive castle up behind there. And what he could do is just daisy chain one of his models out all the time onto that middle objective to hold it, forcing me to come out to try and do something about it. Yeah, I threw too much resources into trying to sort that out. And by that point, he then had 26, I think, guards sat down on one of the objectives.
Yeah.
And a whole
You're not getting
pile
all
of
the seat
others.
control of that.
Yeah. Yeah. He had his transports down, you know, so when I blew up, I did a bit of damage to his smaller transport vehicles, chimeras and things. And the Taurox, I think. He had a couple of Tauroxes. But then, of course, you get all these infinite guards bloody spewing out and jumping on the objective, which you've then got to take a whole nother round, at least round of shooting to try and blast off or to out-OC them. I've had sleepless nights thinking how I would have gone about that and beaten him if I possibly could have. And I'm not sure I probably could. There would have been things I could have maybe done. But he was a great guy, great character. He was in a bright orange boiler suit, like a prisoner, escaped from prison type boiler suit.
Yeah.
Had
Amazing.
he had a tool belt on he'd bought from B&Q. He had all his dice and stuff in there.
Really?
Yeah, he was quite a quirky, fun character. Nice guy, nice to play against.
Yeah. So
go on.
Sounds like the type of guy, if you're going to lose, the type of guy you want to lose to, basically.
Yeah, we had a nice time, you know.
Yeah.
But by turn 3, I was kind of, you know, come on, let's go for it, all or nothing. And again, I had a bit of bad luck in that game, maybe with the dice, but you can't. Everyone has to use dice, and the top players still win over and over again, don't they? So you know, you can't just say it's down to the dice. The mighty Liam VSL was there, and he ended up winning yet again. So he's played 3 years at London
3 in a row.
GT, played 30 matches and won 30 matches in a row. So
Outrageous,
that's not down to dice, is it? You know, there's more to it than just luck. Overall, brilliant experience. Lots of experience gained. Made me want to completely rewrite my list, thinking my list is trash. Which I've now I've gone full circle and sort of thought, hold on, come on. You won 2 games. You kind of won 3 games because you probably won the first one, really, if things hadn't quite gone the way they went. There's nothing really wrong with your list. And I think advice that I've heard from other people is play plenty of matches with your list. Get to know your list. There might be some obvious changes, but you'll get to know
I've always been
your
told
units.
It's better to play a bad list well than a list you don't know. So at least you know what the units are, and then once you played that list, repeat it enough times, you will, instead of making massive list changes, you will make small changes. Okay, I'll swap this out for this, and then try it again. You do like minor changes, but I wouldn't change anything for at least 10 games. And then you'll get, you know, you could have had some bad dice rolls on one of them, and you think, oh, this unit's shite, but it's not. You just roll poorly. It happens.
And isn't it the old adage of like your brand new shiny unit is going to get shot off the board?
Yeah,
And this is a whole brand new shiny army, so
Yeah.
luck-wise.
Yeah. Overall, very happy.
What do you think? What do you think was the number one takeaway then?
My number one learning thing, probably that you've got more time than you think you have. I didn't have to rush as much as maybe I thought I was going to, because a couple of games I'd played at the local shop beforehand, it was completely casual. So we were just chatting the whole time. It wasn't that we were taking a long time to play the games, just that we were doing tons of chat. Whereas in a tournament environment, you're playing the game, so there is just naturally less chat. So yeah, take your time and really kind of, for me, it's more kind of trying to chess match your way through it. Think, right, I'll move here, they'll shoot there, he's then going to probably move there and want to do that. But take the time to think out those possible outcomes rather than just unga-bungering and pushing everything forward and Hulk smash.
You can't beat an Unga Bunga though sometimes.
Amazing. Nice.
I'm just I'm just so glad that you came away from it. That it didn't put you off for life. Yeah, she
Yeah.
had a good time, but that you were competitive as well. That it wasn't just a complete whitewash. And when's your next tournament? Beachhead? Or have you booked something else?
Mid-February,
like beach,
something like that, I think it is. I might be talked into another
Nice.
tournament. Someone wants me to go up north.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
Really?
Yes.
I
Manchester
might be
GT,
tempted.
come
I
on.
might be tempted.
Matt's coming down, so
I
you
might
have
be
to.
tempted.
And Matt
Yeah, I might-
bought his ticket, I believe. So,
Okay.
All right, he's entered us. He entered
Well,
the
and you'll
actual
learn
tournament.
more playing up north, James, because apparently it's much
yeah,
harder.
I think he has. Yeah, he's buying the ticket. Last time I spoke to him.
Okay, yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I've heard the standard's much higher up north. So yeah, I probably should.
Absolutely. If I paired into him round one, I'd just crack my fingers and again just rub my hands together.
There's a challenge laid down there.
Well, I know that two friends at London, they got.
I tell you what, if the
I don't know if
first
it was
time
at
we
the
ever meet,
quarterfinals. Well, we've got
Sorry,
some lag.
if the first time we ever meet, if you beat me, we do have a little bit of lag. If you beat me the first time we ever play, I will buy you any Space Marine unit you want that is not Forge World.
No. If you time this well, James, around about Christmas when they bring out the big box sets, that could be.
Yeah.
And he'll pay Matt to paint it for you as well.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
far.
I wouldn't go that far. No, then you play Matt, and then Matt says if you beat him, he'll paint it. So you got to go double barrel. You got a double barrel.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
Could happen.
Oh, awesome!
Nice.
All right, well, good. I'm glad it all went really well, James. So well done. Nice.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Where's it,
Very
you
good.
guys?
Yeah, good. Nice. I don't have much to report really. I've done a little bit of painting. A couple of sisters been painted, and I've just seeing off one commission that I had in the pipeline. Remember a few weeks ago I was talking about the Ember Guard box set that I was doing.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'll
it's
keep an
just
eye on
coming to the. Yeah. No, it's come out well. So I've just literally just got I think two more Skaven units to go, and one of them is it's tiny. It's like smaller than my finger, so that took very little time. It was quite fun. That almost could have almost just been like dip it in the shade paint and move on. But yeah, so not a lot else from me really. That's good. So I'm glad about that because it's given us more time to hear from you tournament gamers. So that's good. Thanks very much to all of you and for everyone listening along at home. Really appreciate it. James, very quickly, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, blasted.miniatures.james. From there, you can also see the link to my blog where I'm rambling on about my re-entry into the Warhammer world.
Yes.
Awesome. Connor, how about yourself?
You can find me on Instagram at Collins Cadre Command or at Rogue Miniatures as well, which is rogueminiatures.co.uk. Yeah,
Rogue.
.com. I always forget.
Rogue.
Yeah.
Rogue dash miniatures.co.uk.
Yeah. .co.uk. And I'm in the little.
Yeah.
Well, they give me a little blog section. It's very nice of them to do. Yes. So
They're kind
go and read
people
a
up
bit
there,
of that.
aren't they?
If you want to know how not to play Tau, read that.
Awesome. Cool. And if you want a really awesome commission, you can go to the same website, which is www.rogue-miniatures.co.uk. If you're a bit more of a fan of the rough and ready grimdark look, you can also go to www.blastedminiatures.com to look there. And obviously, if you're listening along to this, you're going to want your Rogue and Blasted t-shirt.
Yeah.
And you can pick up one of those on either Rogue website or the Blasted website. So that's it from us this week. Thanks very much. We'll see you later.
Wicked.
See you later,
Thanks a
everyone.
lot, guys.
See ya. Bye.
Sweet.
Rogue transmission ending.